What's up, guys and girls? This is James at Locking the Value and Copy My Crypto, talking to you today about the wonderful world of crypto. Um, we were finally breaking out. Not convincingly, but we're breaking out the symmetrical triangle for Bitcoin. Um, and a tweet threw the market into chaos again. I'm going to get into that and the potential uh, future of Bitcoin in a second. Before I do, as always, the spreadsheet's updated. The first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would crush it in the bull cycle. If you'd invested $100 into each one, you'd be in profit for 26 grand, which is not bad considering everything's down about 10% today after uh, the tweet last night from Elon. Um, I'm only in a few of these now. The rest are into projects I think will do better in this bull cycle and as long-term phenomenal investments. They also offer so much opportunity. This is what I share on Copy My Crypto. These coins that all offer massive benefits on a daily or weekly or fortnightly basis. If you're brand new to crypto, you want to check this out. The link is in the description. Um, right, guys. So we've been if we look at the 4 hourly for a second, because we were in this sort of symmetrical triangle, and we were breaking out. It wasn't convincing, guys. It wasn't a convincing breakout. And then, goddamn, just Elon just threw the market into chaos again. And this is where we're at right now. So we broke the sort of yesterday here at this point. We were starting to break out of this symmetrical triangle that we'd had. Um, and just, yeah, what did he do? He sent out a tweet. And it's nonsense, but I'm not gonna get into the outrage or any crap like that. I'm just gonna talk about what impact this kind of stuff has. So, no, we had this symmetrical triangle, and the breakout. I'd said a few days ago. But by the 6th of June, we needed to break out this pattern. Now we're back in it. Okay, back to square one sort of thing. Back in the triangle. We'd had this breakout, and it looked like yes, the market is about to go on this really positive trajectory. Elon threw out something, I don't know, Bitcoin and a broken heart emoji, um, and then actually trolled people that were losing money, um, which guys got some balls, uh, you know. So anyway, yeah. So as always, a negative tweet, even if it's a nonsense, I think it's just trolling. I think he's just having fun. Um, which I don't think any of us like particularly that he's this influential. But the market really got hit hard overnight. Um, and we're back into this sort of symmetrical triangle pattern. We're basically back to square one. The 200-day moving average just keeps getting further and further away. We need to break past sort of 41,500 right now. And we're nowhere close really, 36, just shy of 37,000. So that's quite a big gain. You're looking at about 12%, which needs to happen, and then it needs to be a convincing day close above. Volumes aren't great right now. The bigger concern is this trajectory of the 50-day moving average and the 200-day, and this death cross that we could potentially see coming rather soon. By roughly the 14th of June, we've got about 10 days potentially before we're seeing the 50-day move below the 200-day. Now, when that's happened in the past, that has been a sign of a big correction coming. And if we just look at previous charts and previous moments that this has happened, oh God, what the hell is this? So here we go. This was where's it gone? God damn, it's taking ages. Okay, zoom out. Can't be bothered with that. Right, um, so where are we? Right, I don't know why the 50-day hasn't carried on, but okay. But it actually broke through here. Okay, this is where we had this enormous, like 40% correction. Um, that's sort of the concern at this point because we have been having correction after correction after correction after correction. So when we see the um, the death cross on its way, we've got to bear in mind that that could be another huge 40%, 30% correction. So the next 10 days are going to be very, very interesting. Like I said, for Bitcoin and for crypto in general, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum are not decoupled yet. The flippening hasn't happened yet. I do still think Ethereum will probably flip Bitcoin in the long run, but um, fundamentally, Bitcoin leads the market. So we've got to look at this. Now, in 10 days, we're going to be looking, within the next 10 days, we could be looking at a death cross. If that happens, people need to look at what they're doing in terms of holdings and in terms of what they're going to do as an investment. If the death cross happens, we could very, very, very well see a 30-40% correction, and that probably is a time to short the market. I wouldn't say with leverage. I would not say do any shorting with leverage, but 20 a 30% correction or a 40% correction could occur. Um, and if that happens with Bitcoin, you know it's going to be worse with the alts. So, you know, you could short hypothetically. You could short Neo, VeChain, whatever, like any of the altcoins that will probably end up bleeding harder than Bitcoin fundamentally. So yeah, we've got to keep an eye on this over the next 10 days. Hope that honestly there's some good crypto news generally. Um, and maybe we can get back to the momentum that we actually were at yesterday. Um, regarding Elon, the thing is, and I've said this before, um, I actually like his opinion shouldn't make a difference, and fundamentally, it doesn't in the long term scheme of things. There's no doubt lots of people are following this guy, and there's no doubt lots of people are implementing shorts the moment he says something negative, and longs the moment he says something positive. Um, and he's moving the market, right? Um, but the long-term perspective doesn't change. And actually, to be honest, I would sooner he just spend the next few weeks just shitting on crypto in general. It just because fundamentally, the more he talks, the less impact it's going to have. The less impact it's going to have. Um, and we need to sort of get used to that. Also, what we don't want to see is one person having this level of influence, mainly because as well, if you're an institution or you're a big investor, you don't necessarily want to be in a market that can be so heavily influenced by one guy, you know? So we've got to sort of look at it in those terms. That he's going to have an impact, but the more he talks, the less impact he'll have. Unfortunately, he's got the sort of right level of limiting the amount he talks. Um, to be honest, we just want him to get drunk for like a week and just spend his life on Twitter for a week, because then he wouldn't have the stuff he spouts would have less and less and less and less and less and less of an impact. But until that happens, we've got to accept that tweets from certain people and comments from certain people or institutions are going to have an impact on the market. And it's just act accordingly. Act accordingly. But the fundamentals and the TA we have to keep an eye on. more than anything for me, I look at everything as a value investor, not so much as a there's a couple type there's a number of types of investors. A value investor is someone that's looking for value, long term and short term, right? But a a growth investor, and we're sort of both of those things as crypto investors. When we're looking at growth, it's effectively projections on what difference a coin could make or what impact an ecosystem could have. And we're projecting the potential growth based on that and based on a number of other factors, such as halvings, how bigger money is going to enter the market, all these things, timeframes. Um, and while we're dealing with this sort of uncertainty, because like I said, another correction looks like it could be on its way. As a value investor, we have to look at it and go, why am I in the coins I am? Because I think they're going to succeed long term. Because I think in 4 years' time, they'll still be crushing it. 5 years' time, they'll still be crushing it. Not that I'll be fully in those positions, but you know what I mean. So we've got to think when we're looking at this market right now, we've got to think about how the holdings we have, are they going to be around 4 or 5 years down the line in case there's another huge correction? Because if there is another huge correction and you're looking at your holdings going, I like this, I like these, then why wouldn't you take the opportunity to average in again? Yeah, because even if it was a correction or even if it led to a crash, you just then have the best opportunity for the next few years to strengthen hands on a week by week basis. Yeah, because this market's going nowhere and regulation's coming. Regulations, as much as people will hate the idea, it's still a good thing. Regulation is acceptance of crypto. Banning is the problem, and no one's looking at banning beyond, a couple limited countries. Um, so yeah, yeah. But realistically, guys, we've got 10 days or so, and um, this is based on current trajectories, right? But we've got about 10 days for a possible death cross. Now, that can change rapidly, by the way. If all of a sudden Bitcoin pumped to 40, 41, moving averages would change, right? Moving averages will change as Bitcoin price changes. So it's not a certainty, but if it does happen, I would be looking at your holdings and preparing for either another correction and you could potentially short parts of the market, but without leverage, because again, all of a sudden you throw in a bit of a random positive tweet from Elon, and all of a sudden the market starts going well again. So if you short in with leverage and someone influences it, you might get wrecked. So no leverage, never leverage. Um, but yeah, that's the state of affairs at the moment. 10 days till potentially a death cross, and if the death cross happens, we should expect about a 30%, 40% correction again, or significant one anyway. And that will be an opportunity. And think about the type of investor you are. If you're an investor based on momentum, then you know exactly what to do. Because if you're basing it on momentum, and if the momentum is swinging negative, you're going to short the market. If you're a value investor, then you should be seeing an opportunity to solidify your hand in projects you know are going to be here down the line and that are naturally going to be successful. And if you're a growth investor, well, if you're in crypto and you're part growth investor and part value investor anyway, as well as momentum. But you've got to think about the type of investor you are, because if the death cross happens, like I said, 30, 40% correction, and we get very, very close sometimes with these death crosses, where it doesn't quite break and then there's an upward spike again. So you've got to keep an eye on that. But yeah, the moment is confirmed 30%, I reckon. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope we're all having a good week, and hope you're all gonna have a good weekend. If you're brand new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. It's the perfect opportunity for you to see what I'm holding, why I'm holding it, and the benefits of every single coin I hold. Anyway, that's it. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.